Welcome into episode 22. Before we move deeper into the city of the dying dreams, I wanted to rewind just a little and showcase some alternative routes against Behemoth King. Because looking back at the last episode, I definitely made that fight harder than it needed to be. Reflect is a huge deal here. Not only does it bounce back Pandara straight back to Behemoth King, it also completely removes Flare from the equation. That alone changes the fight dramatically. On top of that, the king can be power broken, which cuts its physical damage down hard. Once that's on, surviving claw attacks and even heave becomes significantly easier. Heave drops down into the 600 range instead of being a run-ending problem. With Reflect active, Flare comes right back at it for about 2500 damage. Suddenly, one of its most dangerous moves is helping me instead. I can even dispel its shell using Purifying Soul, which also removes the protect at the same time, making captures much cleaner. Tail is a move we never even saw in the previous episode, but under Power Break, it's not an issue at all. Put all of that together and yeah, this fight is way more controlled than how I originally approached it. That's all I really wanted to add there. Now, onward to the city of, let's just call it, the city of no margin for errors. I'll be fully transparent here. Every single new fiend in this area game overed me multiple times. Now one encounter here is easy. Every fight demands way more understanding than what the sensor tells you on the surface. I came in with the Vanguard's First Strike and Reliant Stoneproof already equipped, but the armor setups constantly change depending on what you're about to face. Stoneproof, for example, is specifically for Demonoliths. Ghost demands Assuast Haste already active before the battle even starts. That one's a straight up time race, and I'll have to capture it as well. Alright, into the battles, and the goal here is simple. Capture every new fiend. First up, Demonolith. As usual, the first turn is always Haste on UG. Haste is probably the most important status in this entire challenge. Without it, there's no chance I keep up with anything in this area. Demonolith has a reputation for being terrifying. Status effects, normal attacks, and of course its infamous Stone Breath. But over the years, players figured this one out. Evade Encounter paired with the Stoneproof armor completely solves the fight. Nothing here can actually kill me now. Its normal attacks gets evaded and answered back. Stone Breath, Stoneproof. Like Seymour once said, immortal. Tell me how that ended. I lean into the Shadow Gems for damage. The first few roll quad 9s. Demonolith keeps swinging, hitting nothing but air. Now Shadow Gems get weaker as I walk its HP down, and I definitely could do the math from those rolls and figure out how much HP it has remaining. Instead, I wait for a clean moment to equip Sensor. Whenever I swap to Sensor, I have to make sure I always have a turn ready to go back into the Evade Encounter. I cannot allow Demonolith sneaking attacks. For the rest of its HP, I switch things up and use Soul Spring, lands its big brother, and actually, Demonolith might be the easiest battle in this area. At least out of the new fiends. Soul Spring drains 1529 HP straight out of Demonolith, leaving it barely standing. Back to Sensor, 240 HP left. I want to chip it just a bit more to make sure my Iron Grip seals it cleanly. Another Stone Breath comes out. It can try that all day. I'm not turning into a rock. My normal attacks only hit for 86 without armor break. Now attacking Demonolith normally, that triggered Pharaoh's Curse, a stack of statuses. Nothing deadly, but I do notice that I'm under darkness. I'll have to clean that up if I want to hit it with a capture. So after I heal myself with an Albert Potion, that took care of the poison status. Eye drops make their first appearance in a while. Here I switch Iron Grip a little too early in. I actually want to hit it one more time with the Evade Encounter's counter attack. That way the math lines up and I'll only need one attack with the Iron Grip to seal the deal. So here I was thinking about going for the capture already, but I realized that I'm short on damage. So I go back to the Evade Encounter. One last time. Demonolith can definitely be a casual's nightmare. Stone Breath, Pharaoh's Curse, for me, with the setup I have, completely irrelevant. Now I'm safe, I swap into Iron Grip and pack Demonolith straight into the Farblink Wraith. Sure, it's scary at first glance, but once you understand it, Demonolith is almost a comfort encounter. After dealing with that, I equip Berserk Ward and go hunting for Great Malboro. And here I can run into its easiest version. Alright, Great Malboro time. And yes, every new fiend in this area is immune to sleep. A status that made captures genuinely enjoyable earlier in the run is completely off the table now. No easy battles. Protect helps a lot here, cutting physical damage down. Regen gives me breathing room. Its normal attacks opens the fight, rolling 758 unguarded. Now, there's a fork in the road with this fight. I can use 2 times HP to raise UG's survivability, but the downside is poison ticks harder under that buff. And against Malboro, when Bad Breath comes in, poison is almost guaranteed sooner or later. Now you may think, why don't I just heal it off if it gets inflicted? Because if any party member is poisoned, Great Malboro will never use Bad Breath again. And Bad Breath is the real threat here. Confusion, Berserk, Slow, you name it. So once poison lands, I keep it. Locking Bad Breath out is completely worth every tick. Now there's a couple more tricks I definitely could have used. One of them being, there's a way to avoid Bad Breath completely here by inflicting poison into yourself before it ever uses the Bad Breath move. And I have some poison strike weapons in my arsenal, so I could have done that before Malboro ever got a turn to think about using that move. Shadow gems work here too, and Malboro's sitting at chunky 64,000 HP. The plan is simple, guard where I can, keep regen active, and let the gems do the work. Its munch attack hits harder than a normal attack, but under protect and guard, it's manageable. And I'ma be completely honest, my RNG here is good. After several Malboro's turn, Bad Breath has not been used yet. Unlike anywhere else, here Great Malboro is not guaranteed to start the battle with an ambush and the first turn's Bad Breath move. So this will allow me to learn to fight a little before moving into the harder ones. Bad Breath finally comes out here. The description says it uses it 1/3 of the time. Confusion doesn't proc. Huge relief. I can protect against both Berserk and Confusion at the same time with my current gear. Slow does land though. One chocobo item fixes that. But now Bad Breath is officially off the table for the rest of the fight. Poison ticks start adding up though. 540 per turn. It looks scary, I won't lie. But Power Break would have helped here. That's something I only realized later. That I could have utilized Power Break to cut Malboro's physical damage even more down. But hey, gotta leave something for the Omega runes, right? Now once Malboro drops under 14k HP, I start leaning into Soul Spring. They damage it and heal me. Perfect while poisoned. Shadow Gem damage is falling off now anyway. I'm starting to reach the end of this battle. 6,250 left. More Soul Springs. Keeping me healthy. Whenever there was this pause in the battle, I knew Munch was queuing up. And here, I didn't have my guard up, so let's see the damage. And that's 1,337. That's a lot. Now we've come all the way down to 5,000 HP. Spring it on, Malboro. Let's see what you got. I'm doing the calculations here, and it's looking like that after 2 more Soul Springs, Malboro will be left with couple hundred HP. Even a Great Malboro, once planned out, isn't that bad. I could have thrown on Shaman Targe too, but I didn't need to flip every rock here. Malboro's now weak, but it shows one more new move. That survived now, I'm planning to end it here. Before anything though, let's check its HP quickly. 263 HP left. Poison is about to take me dangerously low, so I used an Albert potion. That heals me, but it takes away the poison. Don't worry. I'm hoping Malboro's not getting another turn here. Swap to Iron Grip. One more action before it moves. Captured. And it comes super close. 4 less damage. And that's a Malboro's turn where Bad Breath is available. That's absolutely a don't try this at home, but I'll take it. With that done, I prep for Ghost. Aswest Haste on. Vanguard equipped. Wraith, aka Ghost, needs me to come in blazing. But next is the 3rd out of the 4 fiends I need to bring back to Calmlands alive. Barbatos, chains rattling around its neck. Towering presence. What a cool dude. Then you look at the HP and the coolness fades. 95,000 HP. Yeah, highest HP out of every regular fiend in the game. The opening here is all about survival. I get every buff up that I can before it really starts hammering. If I just have my guard up, its attacks are manageable. I need more setup time before this turns into a real fight. The body splash, 868 damage. Okay, still fine, but this thing clearly isn't waiting around for me to get comfortable. More preparation, regen goes on, and I need to heal again. Then another hammer, this time unguarded, and it breaks the 1k mark. Alright, that's my cue. Let's get the 2 times HP online. And I'll need a mega potion to bring me back into healthy range now. At this point, I'm basically asking the game for just a couple clutch evades so I can actually begin playing. Lulu's evasion, please. Luckily against Barbatos, there's a fun strat here, because doing that 95,000 HP the slow way would be a full documentary. I equip Zombie Strike courtesy of Lady Unaleska, and I start fishing for zombie. The plan is simple. Guard its turns, reduce incoming damage, and look for that status to stick. But Barbatos is highly resistant towards zombie status. Even with the strike ability on, the first hit, nothing. Second, nothing. Then an evade that saves me a turn. Third hit, still no zombie. Body splash time, but I'm guarding. 4-3-4. When I inflict this zombie, Barbatos wishes it had that flee ability. Fourth, nope. And finally the fifth hit, zombie lands. I go back to sensor immediately. Yeah, that HP bar barely moved. This thing is a wall. Now soon the pace changes completely. I still pretty much always want to guard its turn. That will nicely reduce the damage coming in. And once I get this regen back on, that almost out-heals the damage Barbatos does. Now the battle is in our favor. And now begins the Phoenix down spam. Quad 9s per throw. Cheapest max damage in the entire game. Now Shadow Gems do work here, but this is way cool. Zombie boss Phoenix down it is. One thing to keep in mind though, the shell buff I gave Yuji earlier. Because once Barbatos drops under certain HP thresholds, it starts flexing new move. And trust me, that shell buff matters. When Barbatos is dropped below 50% HP, it will use move called Mortar. And once it's dropped below 25%, it will use it again. Mortar is magic based. Ask me how I figured that one out. At the time, I didn't actually know when Mortar triggered, just that it would happen eventually. So if you're wondering why I'm guarding so often here, that's why. Phoenix downs keep flying. When regen wears off, I reapply it. This is another one of those fights where Shaman Targe would have sped things up. But here I am without it. This battle doesn't have status nonsense. I mean, outside the zombie status I inflicted. Just wall, HP, battling, and patience. And here, I'm not burning rare resources, because Phoenix Downs are bucket change at this point. Barbatos is the only non-boss enemy in the entire game that can't be instantly defeated while in zombie status when throwing out a Phoenix Down. Usually the normal fiends just die. But here, that is an intentional decision they made creating this fiend. They really wanted you to grind this one out. 14,000 HP left. I can afford one more Phoenix Down. Yeah, afford. Cheapest squad 9s in Spira. Next Phoenix Down would downright drop Barbatos here, so the damaging plan changes a little. But I'm not in a rush. 4,800 remaining. I guard. Then I decide to check my normal attack damage. 113. Not so great. So I decide to throw a frag grenade to armor break Barbatos and help Iron Grip later. Important note, armor break also triggers Mortar, but as a counter attack. Did I know that? Absolutely not. Mortar fires immediately. Roll 720, and if you paid attention to the CTP, Barbatos will get a turn after. Hammers over 1000. My heart jumps straight into my throat. One more, and my monitor's getting a petrify grenade. Alright, reset the brain. Let's slow this down. I swear the Maester Mike guy read the notes, but in practice, these fights are always messier than they look on paper. Now with the armor break active, my attacks hit for around 270, much better for capture setup. And finally, Lulu's evasion is starting to kick in and doing the work, buying me breathing room. From here, I just take it easy. Poison fangs, smoke bombs. absolutely no rush. I do not want to accidentally overdamage this thing and redo the whole fight. One thing I'm glad I didn't think of was Soul Spring, because draining HP from a zombie target would have ended very badly. The battle against Barbatos is long and slow, and that's exactly how the game wants you to approach it. Play long, make mistakes. If it looks like my brain shuts off a little here, it kind of did. I was terrified, like I mentioned, of redoing this entire fight, and I wasn't fully aware of what exactly was triggering mortar half the time. So what I'm trying to set up here for the takedown is a healthy UG with 2 turns back to back with the iron grip in my hand, so that I can for sure take this guy in. Next, I pull out the iron grip. This has gone long enough. Attack here? No, one last guard. And there's the back-to-back turn. And finally, I can capture the Barbatos. Thumbs up for that capture. I grabbed the 20,000 gil chest in the middle. Gil is always welcome in my pockets. Now, it's time for the last capture in this area. Wraith. Like I mentioned earlier, this one requires Azura's Haste to already be active before the encounter. My plan here is to use Supreme Gems, and Wraith has 22,222 HP and always opens with Doom on its first turn every time. This battle is a straight up time race. Calculator out. What I've seen, Supreme Gems can roll anywhere from 9,375 all the way up to quad 9. I don't need the max numbers necessarily, I just need good numbers. Now it's Wraith's turn. Doom. The HP remaining is 2,692. Sounds manageable, right? Not quite. After its opener, Wraith can use Doom, Death, or level 3 Black Magic. So now I'm racing both the Doom timer and Wraith's next turn. I Poison Fang it, leaving it at 778. Doom timer on 3. And Wraith's turn, looming behind it all. Palm Fragment brings it to 494 HP, still too high to capture. Doom timer ticks to 2. This attempt is dead. I simply need better opening rolls. Wraith does not have patience, and I got proof. One of the attempts I was well under Doom. But Wraith wants me dead now. Bro can't even wait 2 turns. And the note says if all party members have Doom, it will only cast elemental spells. Well, I guess I don't count the full party here. And now for the actual capture method. Same opener, Azura's Haste active. Switch Vanguard into Iron Grip. And yes, speed-wise, it is better to open this battle with the Vanguard on rather than having already Iron Grip equipped. The first Supreme Gem does 9375. Subtract that from its max HP. This is how they came up with Wraith's HP when designing this fiend. Much thought went into this, yeah? Now Wraith does its opener. Why in the Obliterator do I hear Seymour theme in the background? Want to hear one more niche thing about Wraith? You can inflict delay effect to it, with delay attack that is. I tried to mimic that with my gold hourglass item, since that causes also delay. The slow and the damage it does don't matter. Wraith's immune to slow. But it's interesting that my item cannot inflict that delay effect on Wraith, but delay attacks can do it. That would have definitely helped this time race. Right now, Wraith's at 872 HP. I consider Stamina Spring, but that would push me out of the Azura's range and kill my haste. So I need something else. And that something else is a frag grenade. 812 damage. Wraith now has 60 HP. At this point, my brain is completely fried. I panic for a second, thinking I need to swap into Iron Grip, and then I remember, it's already equipped. I swear to Crusaders, this place cooked my neurons. That's all 4 new fiends captured here. Some of them also appear in Omega Runes. So, if you want to see the Omega Runes DLC package, let me know. I grabbed the remaining chests, some useless spears, whatever. But then, something huge. I've been worried for a while about Death Ward/Death-proof armor. With no customization, I genuinely didn't know where I'd ever get one. But first, behind this wall, Mega Elixir. And then there's this chest. After I set the bridge down, I get access to Defending Bracer. that holds death proof. My prayers answered. If you know any other locations for death ward or death proof without customization, let me know. I'm not aware of any outside the monster arena drops, and maybe if Omega Ruins has one. It's been a while since I've actually looted that place properly. With that, the City of the Dying Dreams is done. I move into the point of no return and start looting these crystal eggs. Same loot every time here. Steel Blade, Mage Staff, Prism Ball, packing that magic counter. Next two pickups are a couple useless spears for me. Some of these abilities makes me really wonder, where am I supposed to use Death Strike, for example? Am I going to be hitting BFA with Death Strike? I cannot even take these equipments to a Waka. Here's one trick. You can menu stall here, so the ice spikes never trigger an encounter. Just wait them out and move on. Before the final egg though, there's one fiend that only exists here, and I want to battle against it for personal reasons. So I need to find it. A few backflips later, triple Demonoliths show up. Yeah, no comment on that. Eventually though, Landworm appears, Sandworm's cousin, hiding all the way here. You can't hide from me though. I start setting up everything I can. Haste up, protect up, 80,000 HP. This is the final boss of the challenge. I'm kidding. Me. It never gets a turn. Poison Fang it, guard, repeat, done. As it falls, that's where this episode ends. We've reached the end of the storyline progression. Vraska's final Aeon stands as the final boss. This challenge has been pushed to its absolute limit. The battle waits. Eject can't hear the hymn so well anymore. And that's a problem. He's not holding anything back. Eject won't be himself anymore. Eject will blitz you like you have 3 party members, multiple thousand HP, spear grid, well traveled through. Overdrives ready to be unleashed, entities waiting to be called in, customized gear tailored to fit the promise of his own son, Titus. I promise this will be quick. Hit me with all you got, BFA. I vow to give it a shot.
I know. You know what you have to do.
Yeah.
I can't hear the hymn so well anymore. Pretty soon I'm gonna be Sin, completely. I'm glad you're here now. One thing though, when it starts, I won't be myself anymore. I won't be able to hold myself back.
Yuna! The Aeons! Call them! Yeah, no, we're not calling them. Join us in the upcoming episode where we face the Vraska's final Aeon!
I promise this will be quick! Hit me with all you got, Dad!